students, today we are going to do the poem The Laburnum Top by Ted Hughes. Edward James Ted Hughes was a modern English poet, and critics ranked him as one of the best poets of the period. Among the important poets of the latter half of the 20th century, Ted Hughes' special contribution to English poetry lies in the creation of a poetic world with a central interest in wild animals and birds. His poetic inspiration is born out of and focused on the peculiar but intimate influence that animals of forest, trees, and the sky have on a sensitive human spirit. The poem The Laburnum Top presents a reciprocating relationship between the laburnum tree and the goldfinch. Goldfinch is a small bird with yellow feathers. She arrives in her nest to feed her young ones. The poem describes how a little bird awakens the quiet and sleepy laburnum tree and makes it alive. The core theme of the poem shows us the repaying relationship between the laburnum tree and the goldfinch. The laburnum tree is mighty, beautiful, but quite alone and lonely, while a goldfinch bird is quite amusing and delightful, but without a shelter. So, the laburnum tree gives the house to the bird and its young chicks, and the bird, in turn, takes away the dead silence of the tree and breathes life into the tree on its arrival. Let's begin with stanza-wise explanation of the poem. The laburnum top is silent, quite still. In the afternoon yellow September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Laburnum refers to a short tree with hanging branches, yellow flowers, and poisonous seeds. The poem begins with a description of a laburnum top, that is, the top of the laburnum tree, on a September afternoon. The top of the tree stands still, stands silent. The leaves of the tree have started turning yellow, and the seeds have already fallen. The scene depicts the season of autumn. In the given lines, the poet says that till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirrup, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end, then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness and a machine starts up, of chitterings and a tremor of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. So in the given extract, a number of words have been used in order to show the change in the atmosphere, the change which occurs due to the arrival of the goldfinch. Goldfinch is a small bird with yellow feathers. Twitching means sudden movement. Chirrup means repeated high-pitched sound made by the birds. Startlement means showing sudden shock. Abrupt refers to rapid. Chittering refers to make a chattering sound. Tremor of wings means vibration of the wings or the constant movement of the wings. Trillings refers to produce a chirping sound. Tremble means to shake. Thrills means a sudden feeling of excitement. The silence of the tree is broken with the sudden arrival of the goldfinch. The bird arrives at the end of the branch with a chirrup. Then she abruptly enters the thickness of the branches, just like a lizard. Thickness here refers to the wide trunk of the tree. and the movement of the goldfinch is compared to that of a lizard. And the basis of comparison is the sleek, alert, and sudden movement of a lizard. The goldfinch makes similar kind of movements when it arrives on the laburnum tree in order to avoid the predator, or we can say to avoid being noticed by any hunter. As she arrives, it seems as if a machine has started up, as the young ones of the goldfinch are filled with excitement and start creating noise on her arrival. They start chirping and fluttering their wings. With their chirrups and movements, the whole tree comes alive and it trembles and thrills. Thus, it becomes the engine of her family. So, who becomes an engine of the family? That is the goldfinch. So, the goldfinch has been called the engine of her family. Just as the engine starts up the machine, the goldfinch's arrival in the nest has suddenly started the machine. That is, the young ones in the nest have started making noise. The fuel of the engine is the food that goldfinch brings for her chicks. Further, the poet says that she strokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask. Here, the word flirts out refers to lead on to or to come out. The bird comes out after feeding its young ones. Strokes means to add fuel to the engine, and barred means striped. So, the goldfinch, after feeding its young ones, comes to a branch end showing her barred face. The laburnum tree has flowers that fall like bars, and when the bird sits behind the flowers, the shadow of the flowers on her face looks like she's wearing a mask that has bars on it. That is the reason the poet uses the phrase barred face identity mask. Here the poet says, then with airy delicate whistle chirrup, whispering she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. In the given lines, airy means strange, unusual sound. Launches means flies. Infinite means the sky. Subsides to empty means to become silent. After some time, the goldfinch makes a strange, unusual, high-pitched sound. Then she flies away towards the infinite sky, the vast, endless sky, the never-ending sky. And the laburnum tree becomes silent again after the departure of the goldfinch, and everything seems to be the same as it was before the arrival of the goldfinch. So we can say that the tree was noisy and lively when the goldfinch came to feed its chicks, but it reverts to its earlier self after its departure from the tree. Let's go through the poetic devices used in the poem. First is simile. In this figure of speech, one thing is compared to another, and the example is sleek as a lizard. Other poetic device used in the poem is metaphor. In this figure of speech, a word or phrase is used to represent something else. Examples of metaphor are engine of a family, where engine represents the mother goldfinch, and machine, which represents the nest with its bird chicks. Alliteration is another figure of speech used in the poem, which means a number of words having the same first consonant sound occur close together in a series. For example, September sunlight, a suddenness, a startlement, and alert and abrupt, and tree trembles and thrills. Yet another poetic device used in the poem is onomatopoeia. In this figure of speech, a word is formed from a sound similar to it. For example, chittering, trilling, whistle chirrup, twitching chirrup. The general examples of onomatopoeia are quack, crack, splash, crunch, etc. Transferred epithet is another poetic device used in the poem. Basically, transferred epithet is when an adjective is usually used to describe one thing and later on it is transferred to another. An epithet is a word or phrase which describes the main quality of someone or something. Here, the example of epithet is the word bard. Basically, the word bard is meant to describe the flowers of laburnum. But since it's the case of transferred epithet, so this word bard is basically transferred to a different noun. That is, it is now describing the bird. So it has been transferred from flower to the bird. So the example of transferred epithet in the poem is her barred face identity mask. So we can say that the flowers of the laburnum tree fall like bars, and when the bird sits behind the flowers, the shadow of the flowers on her face looks like she's wearing a mask that has bars on it. In conclusion, we can say that Hughes is trying to convey the message that life is a process of exchange and transformation. People are alive because they undergo exchange of energy. The goldfinch transforms the tree and makes it alive. Without the goldfinch, the laburnum tree is just another tree. It's lifeless. So we can say that energy is contagious. Either you affect people or you infect people.